What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Right down here on my way to work, walking to work, in this awesome space that has been revitalized, redone. You got the Mike Ilitch School of Business that's right there, literally right outside of Little Caesars Arena. Got some residences right there. It's so funny, these residences. They're gorgeous, right? Like, if you just go over and you look at them, this is right down Woodward before you get to downtown Detroit. Midtown is that way. This is the District Detroit. Downtown is that way. And it's funny because these go for a lot of money relative to what it was that they were selling for in the 2008, 2009, 10, 12. Could have got this stuff for a song and a dance, but I didn't have the resources to really be able to capitalize off of it. But that's not what I'm talking about today. We're going to talk about that on the Millionaire Morning Show. Make sure you tune into that. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But what I want to talk about specifically right now is all of the gun violence that's been happening and that's been really, really being publicized, even by me. I've taken a vested interest in bringing to light all of the atrocities, especially in the beginning of the show in the mornings, of what's going on within the communities, because it's something that's been flying under the radar. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? So Biden recently made a declaration that we need to attack and address what's going on with regard to gun violence by banning assault rifles and all of this other type of stuff, right? Now, part of the reason is that there was this big publicized thing that was happening about what happened over there in Philly, right? From all understanding, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, it wound up being a 40-year-old black man that went on a rampage that was basically doing everything negative, and then they wound up taking him into custody, without actually taking him out, right? But then prior to that, you had what was going on in Baltimore, right? And basically it was a block party, and at that block party, once it got past 12:30 a.m. at night, or whatever, so on and so forth, it just went haywire, and who knows? Somebody probably got into it with somebody. The community don't want to snitch on little Ray in order to get him and hold him accountable. Whole nother conversation, right? But then you got Wichita and Fort Worth and Detroit and all of these different spaces and communities, which this is not new. This is not news to the people that grew up in these communities, that are immersed in these communities, that still have people that live in these communities. This is not news to us. We are very much familiar, and they're just now starting to label it and put the mass before the shooting, right? Because now it gives it a lot more importance. But the reality is that the things that's been happening within these communities have been going on for a long time. And I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. In the same way that you know that no politician, including the president himself, all of your Congress members, everybody in these legislative branches, they are not coming to save you. They are not coming to save you. They will not save you in your finances. They are not going to forgive your student loans. They are not going to give you a handout and fix you with reparations. They are not going to come in and police your communities, because even the police themselves are there to react to and deal with the consequences and the circumstances that's taking place, that already take place inside of your community. So once the crime is already committed, then the police comes in and the investigators come in and they try to find out who did it. But in order for a group of people to truly solve for a problem within the community, as far as trying to fix the violence and things like that, it's several different things that have to happen for a city to really thrive and for a community to really take off, right? A, you got to have really good public transportation, because then that allows for people to be able to get back and forth and then be productive citizens. One of the foundations of being great, one of the things that allows for somewhere or somebody to thrive, is they have to be busy and they have to be productive members of society, right? That's number one. Number two, you got to fix the schools, right? In order to fix the schools, you got to fix the parents, because teachers have now become over-glorified babysitters of some of the worst monsters that navigate up and down the halls, and they're actually probably doing more to sell drugs and worsen the experience for students that really want to learn. And so you got to fix the schools, which means that you got to fix the parents. One of the things that I've seen from LeBron James, and he don't get enough credit, is that when he did his I Promise school, one of the things that he did was he didn't just focus on the children, he also focused on the environment and the parents, and gave them opportunities and said that, it was opportunities for them to become great as a result of it, because no student can really thrive in a horrible environment. Yeah, you can be successful. Yeah, you can figure it out. Yeah, you can make it out, but the odds are against you, right? But none of that really matters right now, right? The biggest thing that I want to highlight and emphasize right now is that you have to save yourself, because nobody is going to save you. And the best way to fix a community is fix the individuals within the community. The best way for you to help me is to help yourself, right? Don't become a burden for the other people that live in the community, or the people that also need to get themselves out of it. Two broke people can't do nothing for nobody. And then the second thing is, once you get past a space where your cup runneth over, then you have the ability to be able to pour into other people. But you're not going to be able to fix anything and anyone if you cannot fix yourself. So the first thing is, you have to be able to save yourself. Get yourself together. Nobody's coming to save you. They not gonna start snitching and telling on the people that's shooting up the block parties. They not gonna start fixing the communities just because they put a mask in front of it, just because Biden is starting to address it, because we know that election season is coming up. It's not gonna be any more meaningful. Just because they're gonna start talking about it in a debate don't mean that they're gonna start getting better results as a result of it. You're going to have to do the thing that's in your own best interest and in your future kids' best interest and the people that you love in best interest. And that is saving yourself and getting yourself out of these hellholes. The hood is always going to be the hood. The mass is not going to stop the shootings. And people are going to continue to do what they do, because it's not about what you look like. It's about the culture that you immerse yourself in. It's the culture. It's our cultural norms, which is why we need to throw away everything we thought we knew about what our cultural norms are, and then reestablish new ones, better ones, right? Throughout history, we've always reevaluated what our past was and then made adjustments to it. At one point, slavery was legal, right? But then obviously people realized that you probably shouldn't have somebody else under your thumb. So we need to, change our cultural norm and make it a little bit different, and then modify it so we can actually create a better environment in society for the people that surround us. We need to be continuously reinventing ourselves and reevaluating where we are in this society, and then making adjustments. But we don't want to do that. We want to continue to lean on the things that we know don't work. We need to continue to highlight. I still see these blackity blacks and all of these people keep talking about what we need to do for the black community. They don't know. They can't even fix themselves. They can't even provide for themselves. They can't even help themselves. So how they gonna give you some game on how it is that you're supposed to be moving, and they can't even fix themselves? They can't even fix their own households. Save yourself. Focus on you. Fix your own household. We don't need no community conversations. We don't need people to start giving us any kind of insight on how it is that they see things. We don't need you coming to the front of the table talking about what your solution is. Your main solution is you. Biden ain't gonna fix you. Your government ain't gonna fix you. Whoever the mayor is in Chicago, Brandon Johnson, he can't help you. That dude don't have a clue as to what it is that he's supposed to do, in my opinion. He a worse version of Lori Lightfoot, all right? Listen, I love you. I appreciate you. Stop depending on the president and these politicians that's selling you lies to give you some insight on how it is that you can fix your community. They can't help you. They're not even interested in helping you. I think that they're more interested in getting another term and in securing a legacy than they are about fixing your community. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna holler at you guys later.